Hey y'all, I'm Fung the Skinny Fry Master, and I just got back from the store because I had to go pick up some coconut water because we are making Thit Kho, which is braised pork, one of my all-time favorite dishes. It's super tasty, it's tender and fatty and just so comforting, and you'll be amazed by how simple it is to make this recipe. So it's great served with jasmine rice and a side of the pickled mustard greens from our previous video. And guys, let me tell you, your life is just not complete until you have this dish. So let's dive in. First, we're going to start off by smashing our garlic, green onion heads, and shallot. My mom likes to do it this way so that it's easier to scoop out because she wants to keep a really clean and clear liquid. Then we're going to add it to a mixing bowl with salt, sugar, and some lime juice to make the meat a little bit more tender and the fat more shiny looking. Now we're going to rinse the pork with salt and water to get rid of any kind of smell, and then an additional step you can do is to scrape the skin with a knife to really clean it, and then pat it dry with a napkin, and then cut the pork and add it to the marinade and leave it in the fridge for at least an hour. Now let's take the time to boil our eggs, and we add a splash of vinegar in the water to make it a little bit easier to peel later on. So we're going to add the eggs to room temperature water, bring it to a boil, then turn off the heat and then cover it with a lid for about 14 to 15 minutes. And then afterwards we're going to place it in an ice bath to stop the cooking process and to make it easier to peel. Now we're going to bring our water and coconut soda to a boil. Once you're ready to cook the meat, let's go ahead and make our caramel sauce. So we're going to make it slightly different this time. Instead of oil, we're going to actually use water so that it doesn't solidify, making it a little bit easier to work with. So on a high temperature, we're going to add our water and our sugar and then let it caramelize. It'll turn brown, but you want to wait until it turns really dark brown, almost to the point where it's black, and then you're going to remove it from the heat and then add a little bit of water to make sure that it doesn't solidify. The caramel sauce is what gives the pork that really dark, beautiful color. So if you like your meat a little bit darker, then just make a little bit more caramel sauce. So now we're going to add it to the pork, give it a good stir, and then add the pork pieces one by one into the boiling liquid to prevent a lot of foam from building up at the top. This part is optional, but if you want your eggs to have a little bit more color and flavor, you can actually add them to the marinade that you used for the meat. Keep the temperature on high while you skim the foam for about 10 to 15 minutes until the foam is all gone. Now we're ready to lower the temperature and add in the fish sauce, and then partially cover the pot for about an hour. You can cover it and cook it for longer if you want more tender meat. It's totally up to you. We usually add the eggs in about 30 minutes before serving. And then at this point, you want to leave the pot uncovered so that the sauce can reduce. And keep in mind, the more it reduces, the stronger the flavor will be. And this is what Thit Kho looks like. I hope you give it a try.